Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is the awaited World Cup prediction video. We are about to kick off the World Cup 2022 in Qatar, despite all of its controversy and what fans are saying about it. For some people are happy, some people are not happy. We're seeing things happening there. I mean, are fans even going? Like, there's a whole debacle, but one thing's for sure, we are going to see football, we are going to see a tournament, and it's happening in a couple of days. So I'm going to give you guys my predictions as to how I see it going down and who will reach that final and who will win the 2022 World Cup. I'll give you my thoughts and my predictions very shortly. Before we do though, I want to let you know of a couple of things. Firstly, OneFootball, you know where to go. Link in the description for all of your latest footballing news, including the latest to do with the World Cup, in and outs, the latest updates, the teams, the standings, group standings, results, fixtures, statistics, whatever you need. It's there in the OneFootball app. And if you are based in the UK and Ireland, do not forget you have access to one Italian Serie A game per match day once the season resumes, and access to Italian Serie A highlights. So post-World Cup, you know where to go for your Italian Serie A if you're based in the UK and Ireland. Apart from that, you have access to everything else, and during the World Cup, all your latest there. Link in the description. Download the OneFootball app now and enjoy. Secondly, I want to let you guys know of my thoughts on the whole Cristiano Ronaldo interview, right? Because I'm not going to do a dedicated video to it because I don't have much more to say. I told you in my little video that I did a couple of days ago about Cristiano Ronaldo when we just got little snips. What did I say? I say wait until the whole thing is released and we can watch the entire interview, which was, 90 minutes long? Don't need to say anything else. The man, honestly, as a player, as a human being, his values, everything he stands for, I think is fantastic. Ultimately, as a person that came and wanted to speak, I feel like we have to appreciate the fact that he says it as it is. He says it as he sees it. He's not scared to say what he thinks. He's not scared to say his beliefs. He's up front. He's in your face. He tells you exactly what he thinks, and that's it. Appreciate the honesty, honestly. So in terms of that, I honestly believe what he said, basically all spot on. His values, him as an individual, as a man, as a human being, not as a football player or, a football personality, but even that. But as a human being, the man was absolutely spot on. So if you haven't caught it, do watch that entire interview with Piers Morgan and you'll know exactly what I have to mean. The rest, honestly, it speaks for itself. I don't need to say anything else on it. Let's get into World Cup prediction. How do I see this going down? Right, let me show you the predictor. And I haven't actually paid much time to going into each group and thinking, how do I see this going? How do I see this going? I'm going to do this off the cuff. I thought it would be credit to you guys for me to give you my true gut instinct, because I know a lot of people do predictions and they have their gut instinct and then they begin to allow maybe too much rationality to walk into the picture, and then they start overthinking and then it gets a little bit sticky, and then sometimes bias can come in, sometimes bias doesn't come in. But with me, I honestly thought, let's just go through it together and I'll speak as we go along and we'll see where we end up. So here is my 2022 World Cup predictions. Right, here is the World Cup predictor, courtesy of beIN, who are the official, I think they're the official broadcaster of the World Cup. I'm not paid to say that, so I'm not going to say that again. They should pay me to say that. But anyway, let's get into it. World Cup predictor. They've set this up very, very nicely, so I have to give credit where it's due because they made this and I saw it and thought, this is perfect. This is exactly what we need. Let's start off. Group A, Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal and the Netherlands. Now I have to very briefly, yesterday's video I told you my England prediction, and Senegal, I mentioned them just in case England have to play against them. And I said about Sadio Mane, and all of a sudden, as soon as I say, well, he's playing the World Cup, boom, he's not, he's injured, and he had successful surgery, but because he had to have surgery, he will not be taking part in this edition of the World Cup. So, Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. I'm going to tell you the winners and the runner-up for each group, and then we'll go into the knockout stage. Honestly, I read something funny yesterday. Something something that apparently said Qatar offered Ecuador like 7 point something million just to throw the result and give Qatar the game. And I thought, nah, I'm not gonna believe that if there's no true evidence, because look, you never know. But Qatar, in terms of their friendlies, and in terms of their latest international form, they've actually been quite decent. They've been decent. They haven't lost recently either. They've got a couple of lads that I think know where the goal is, and they're going to be at home. So Qatar, I think, might get a result against Ecuador, if I'm having to guess. But apart from that, I don't see him getting a result. The Netherlands are the favourites for sure. Senegal could cause an upset. Ecuador, I think, can be decent, but in moments. And I don't see them being consistent enough to cause a shock or threat to the top two in the group. I think many people are expecting Ecuador and Senegal to compete for second place. I think it's a given that many expect the Netherlands to finish top of the group. Although, do not be surprised if Netherlands bottle it, because I still think there's work for improvement. There's work to do in that Netherlands team, although they should have enough quality to get them over the line. Louis van Gaal's selection was actually quite a decent selection, so I'm expecting them to top the group. And I have to put Senegal as runners-up. Ecuador, we'll see how they get on against Qatar. Because I think third place could be between either of them. But I don't think Ecuador have enough tools in order to get into the last 16. So I'm going to go Netherlands, Senegal. For England's group, and I told you this already, look, realistically, and funnily enough, the comments from yesterday's video were quite honest. Funnily enough, I got a couple of Iranians telling me, hey, don't underestimate Iran. We're going to beat you on Sunday. I'm like, well, on Monday, sorry. And I'm like, we'll see. You never know. The USA, I think many people are saying, oh, we're sleeping on the USA in England. We think that they're not going to do much, but they've got a great team. They actually do have a good team. And I said this yesterday. I just think the quality that England have should still be enough to get them over the line. Realistically, despite Gareth Southgate, if it wasn't Gareth Southgate and we had a top manager, I'd be saying we're winning this group with ease. But Gareth Southgate. So, bearing that in mind, and Wales, I think, are dark horses here for second place. I am going to go England to top the group. And I would be surprised if England don't top the group. I am going to go with the USA to finish second. Wales can finish second. This group can go either way. Even historically, England and USA actually have a better record. But, again, I still think that when England play USA this time, I think England will get a result. But Wales definitely are in for a shout. I still think the quality that the USA possess and the way that their team has developed, and it continues to grow, I think they're going to finish second. So that is my Group B prediction. Group C, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico and Poland. I am torn here. I think it's a given, right? We have to select Messi and go. Leo Messi and everyone. And by the way, Messi's last World Cup. This is actually going to be quite a moment, because this World Cup, I think, is going to be the last World Cup we see with Messi and Ronaldo. And it's an end of an era. The torch gets passed on. So there's that. But I think Argentina, they're one of the favourites of the entire tournament. I think they make the final, if I'm being completely honest. Well, depending on the tree. Depends who they face. So we'll see. But Argentina, I think, are going to finish top of that group. Quite straightforward. I think they'll win each game. Now, second, for me, I'm going to be real. Saudi Arabia are finishing last. With all due respect to Saudi Arabia, I think that's how it's happening. Although, you never know. Maybe Mexico. Mexico haven't been on top form in terms of their last few games and the way that they've been performing. It's been a little bit edgy, right? Poland, I don't know what to expect with Poland. Poland, historically, especially with Lewandowski, etc., right? You expect them to have a good level, a good standard, a good quality. And the fact that they qualified here is enough. But Mexico normally are quite good, especially at competition. But I don't know what to expect of them. And I see either one of them finishing second. My gut, though, is telling me to go with Mexico. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm telling you, I'm going with my gut here. My gut is telling me Mexico. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Poland actually finish second, and I do expect them to finish in third if they don't finish second. Group D. This is where it gets interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Right? This is a group that can cause a little bit of shock. Many people are looking at France going, France are going to top this group. I think France are going to have a poor tournament. I'll be honest. I don't think the atmosphere is right in the French camp. I think everyone and their mother knows that Didier Deschamps is going to be leaving the French job and Zidane is going to become the new France manager after the World Cup. I think that's a given. We already kind of know this. I'll be shocked if it doesn't happen that way. France have not been performing well. We looked at the Euros. Look how fast they folded there. I still think the same issues that they had at the Euros are present here, despite maybe changes in the squad selection. But Didier Deschamps' time at France, I think, has come to an end. And I think all the players and the egos that are in that team, despite the talent being absolutely immense, you know, there's a reason why they call France Africa FC, right? Because they've plucked out so much talent that are of different nationalities but born in France. They've plucked out the best of the best talent and managed to develop them and help them and become the professionals that they are today. But they've got an immense amount of depth. France, though, overall, mentally, I don't think the harmony is there in the squad, and that's why I see them failing. Are they going to fail at the group stage, though? Is there enough quality in this group to overpower France? That's what I think is going to be lacking a little bit. Although Denmark should not be underrated, and neither should Tunisia. But the problem with Tunisia, and I know this, right, is consistency. They're not consistent enough. They've got talent. And on a day, for example, they play against France, do not be surprised if Tunisia won 1-0. But I still don't think Tunisia get past the group stage, and I think they get eliminated. Because in games where they have to perform, I think they can show up. But in games where they have to take it maybe a little bit lightly, they're not consistent enough. Denmark, I see possibly causing the shock. Historically, they are known for causing shocks. If you remember, I think there was a previous edition of the Euros and Denmark didn't qualify. And because of a team getting kicked out, Denmark were handed the spot and they went on to win the tournament. So that speaks in itself of what Denmark are capable of as a nation, despite that being quite a couple of decades ago, I think, a few decades ago. But Denmark have quality. And I see... I want to be a bit daring here, and I want to say Denmark to finish top. Australia, to be honest, we know Australia of old. Do we know Australia of now? Is there enough quality there? You know, do they have a Cahill once again? Do they have a Kuehl once again? You know, do they have players that before were absolute maestros in their field? Australia, I still think, are going to finish either third or fourth. I see 2 going through, and I think that will be... Oh man, I'm going to put Denmark first. I'm going to be daring. I'm going to put France second because I do think France are actually going to make it. But then I think in the last 16 they're going to suffer. Denmark to top the group though. One of those ones. Denmark are going to have a Hungary moment. Moving on to Group E. This group is a bit mad. No one expected this. Spain and Germany in the same group. Who would have thought that was going to happen? But we're here. Japan, Costa Rica. It speaks for itself in terms of everyone and who they think is going to be top 2 here. It's pretty clear. Spain and Germany are definitely going through into the last 16, I would say. But you never know. Don't underestimate Japan. Don't underestimate Costa Rica in terms of a freak result. But that's what I think it's going to get to, at best, a freak result. Japan and Costa Rica I don't see going through. Spain and Germany. Spain are, I think, right now better equipped and better performing than Germany. So I'm going to go Spain to top the group. Germany to finish second. And that is my prediction for Group E. Group F. This is a little bit of a group of death. If we're talking about groups of death, there's another one that I can look at, but I think there's more quality in this group. Actually, let me bring it across to Group H all the way because we've got 3 groups left. Group H looks a little bit like a group of death, but Group F, I think, is the group of death. Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia. They've all got talent. Belgium, for me, I think have hit a plateau. I don't see them getting better. They've hit a ceiling, and I think the only way is down. They might stay there, but that's it. You're not getting more. And proof is in the pudding. I think today they lost to Egypt. I actually don't know. I need to check that. If Belgium actually lost to Egypt, but they were losing to Egypt. So that's an indicator of how, I would say, how volatile Belgium can be. They've got individual talent. On paper, they look unbelievable. But as a unit and as a team, I don't think they blend as well as people think. And that's why this group is very, very, very dangerous because anyone can go through. I look at this group and I think anyone can go through. Canada have, I think for the first time in how long, have qualified for the World Cup. They've got talent though. They've got talent seeping through. Alphonso Davies, for example. Canada all of a sudden now find themselves at a World Cup. Do I expect them to go through to the knockout stage? Realistically, no. But talent is there. It's enough to cause a shock against a Belgium, for example, even against a Croatia. Morocco should not be underestimated. I'm going to tell you that now. They got new manager in. Halilovic got sacked. And I was surprised at the timing because it's the second time now he's qualified a country to a World Cup and he's not taking them to the World Cup because they got rid of him. Japan done it to him and now Morocco done it to him. Ziyech has gone back into the Morocco team. By the way, the goal he scored for Morocco yesterday in that friendly from like 55 yards out or whatever it was. Wow. That was absolutely unbelievable. Very, very, very cheeky of Hakim Ziyech. Very cheeky. Great goal. Beautiful. But Morocco should not be underestimated. If I'm looking at the African countries, after Senegal, for me, comes Morocco. In terms of talent, as a group, as a collective, they've got some good individualities. You know the Ziyech, you know Hakimi. They've got good players there. They've got a good block. They've got good individuality. And I think right now, under this new manager, it looks like that they have a group, a collective that are in harmony with each other. I think Morocco will try and push for a shout in the last 16, but then there's Croatia. And Croatia, I feel like, have good quality in that team. We know what they possess. Croatia, last World Cup, reached the final. They're a good squad. I personally see Belgium to top the group because I still think the individual quality is going to overpower all of the other countries. And I want to say Morocco. By the way, I want to, because I'm going to be supporting all the African countries that are there. Maybe bar Cameroon for specific reasons. But Morocco, I feel like, have a shout. They have to tread carefully and they have to give everything, and you never know what can happen. But I think Belgium and Croatia will be the ones going through to the last 16. Group G, this speaks for itself. Brazil are going to top this group, I think, pretty straightforward. In terms of second, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon, I personally see Switzerland making it through. They had a very, very good tournament at the Euros, if you remember, during that time. That was fantastic from Switzerland. They beat France. We're talking about France earlier on. Serbia, decent. Cameroon, decent. But nowhere near enough quality, I think, to try and compete with the other two, Brazil and I think Switzerland, who are going to finish second. I think maybe Serbia to finish third and Cameroon to finish bottom. That's my honest prediction. And that's my honest prediction. If I thought Cameroon would finish third, I would say it. I don't think they will. Group H, Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. This is a very interesting group as well. I think many people are looking to Portugal to top it. Ghana, back, in the World Cup, and I feel like they've got a point to prove, but is the quality there? They narrowly knocked out Nigeria in qualifying, and I don't know whether Ghana actually have, tools to be able to overpower Portugal or Uruguay, for example. Uruguay I'm looking at as second favourites in this group. Korea, though, if we're looking at South Korea, and we're looking at Son, we're looking at a couple of other good guys on that South Korean team. They might be a surprise. They might be a surprise, but so might Ghana. My gut prediction, though, I'm going to be real. Let's get into this group and then the last 16. I see Portugal and Uruguay making it through to the last 16. Let's get to the last 16. So, these would be the ties. And this is exactly what I said yesterday. Look at England playing against Senegal. But Netherlands, USA, Argentina against France, that would be one hell of a matchup, by the way. England versus Senegal, Denmark versus Mexico, Spain, Croatia, that would be good. Brazil, Uruguay, South American derby, that would be outrageous. Belgium, Germany, that would be crazy. And Portugal, Switzerland, that would be a good tie too. Netherlands, USA, I am going to go with Netherlands. Argentina versus France, I think that's the end of France. Messi to knock out some of his teammates. Messi to knock out Mbappe. England, Senegal. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Senegal actually beat England. I actually wouldn't be surprised. But I think, realistically, England should make it past Senegal. Denmark, Mexico, I would go Denmark. Spain versus Croatia, I would go Spain. Brazil versus Uruguay, I would go Brazil. I'm going all left-hand side at the moment. Belgium, Germany, I would go Germany. Portugal, Switzerland, I would go... That's tough. Portugal. Quarterfinal. Netherlands, Argentina, Spain versus Brazil, England versus Denmark, Germany versus Portugal. You see what I told you yesterday about England possibly having a direct route to the semi-final? It's possible. It really is possible. Just top the group. If England top the group, and I don't think they have to play anyone serious, because if England finish second, they would have to potentially play against the Netherlands, and then if they get past that, then possibly Argentina. So it's crucial that England top the group, unlike the last World Cup where we didn't mind finishing second. Netherlands, Argentina, I have to go Argentina. Spain versus Brazil, that's one hell of a matchup, but I have to go Brazil. England versus Denmark, I am, for the sake of it, going to say England. There is a bit of bias there, but I think England should beat Denmark, realistically. Germany versus Portugal. That's very tough. Very tough. Something's telling me Portugal. Something's honestly telling me Portugal. I don't think Germany are the same outfit they once were. I know there's enough quality there, but I'm going to go Portugal. That's my gut. I'm going to go Portugal on this one. Semi-final, Argentina, Brazil. By the way, the Portuguese team is a very good team. If you look at their squad players, you look at who's involved, there's talent there. Germany, I feel like, yes, there's talent, but there's work to do. It doesn't feel as gelled. The Portuguese team all look like very technical ballers, and I think Portugal might do Germany there. Just to clarify. Argentina, Brazil should be the final. The fact we get it in the semi-final is a robbery. Argentina, Brazil, oh man, and England, Portugal, oh my god. England are going to get to the final by default, aren't we? Look, Argentina, Brazil, I am going to go with what I honestly think is going to happen. I'm going to go Brazil. I think Brazil are going to go all the way, if I'm being completely honest. But Argentina are definitely up there. That's going to be one hell of a matchup if it happens. But Brazil, for me, just edge it because of their squad depth. England, Portugal. And squad depth, by the way, in terms of players that they can just rely on at any time or bring off the bench at any time. I think for the longevity of the tournament, it's a good thing. England, Portugal. That would be one hell of a game. That would be Cristiano Ronaldo's attempt to try and break some Man United players' legs. Luke Shaw is going to get clamped. I am going to go with, I want to say England, right? But I should say England, but nah, Portugal. I'll go Portugal. Third place, I don't think if we play Argentina, I don't think we've got a chance. I think that game will be harder than the semi-final. So I'm going to go Argentina, and then the final, Brazil, Portugal. Funnily enough, two countries speak the same language, basically. Brazil, for me, will win the World Cup. So that is my World Cup prediction, people. What's yours? Let me know in the comment section below. That's my World Cup predictor. And there we are. I've said Brazil are the team that's going to go all the way. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my predictions. Do you know of any teams that might cause a shock? Any big team that you reckon might flop? Any analysis that you have in preparation to this World Cup? Your predictions, let me know down below. Much appreciated. And just on a side note, do you actually think England could actually get this far? Just by default because of the teams they have to play against. Let me know if that's going to be the case, if you agree or disagree. Much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this. I will see you tomorrow for the first preview of the World Cup, which is going to be Qatar versus Ecuador. I will be dropping previews the day before the team plays. And I'll be dropping a match review after each day is done of that day. So watch out for Qatar, Ecuador tomorrow in my preview. And I will try and get another video out because I don't want to just leave you guys with that. So it might be a double upload tomorrow. I'll see you guys then, though. Have a good one. Thank you all so much for watching. See you later. Take care and peace.